Good morning, class, and welcome back to Hot School. Hope you had yourselves a good recess. In today's lesson, we will be going over Jaina, the Frost Mage from the Warcraft universe, one of the original mages in the game, and still holds up today with her ability to burst down targets and with some crowd control, especially in the slows department. But with that being said, let's get right into that and see what this girl can do.
I'm here to help.
Alrighty, so we find ourselves on Infernal Shrines. On the friendly team, we have Jaina, Whitemane, Kael'thas, Joanna, and Nova versus Lili, Zagara, Zul'jin, Zul, and Stitches. This is a interesting matchup here. I would love to be on the other team right now with all these squishies to kill. However, with Infernal Shrines is a good map for Jaina, as with her area denial and ability to kind of do a lot of area damage, we can go ahead and get a lot of those minions for the Infernal Shrine here. So at level 1, we are going to take increased Frostbolt range because we are going to want to stay out of range of characters like Zul'jin. So our Q ability is Frostbolt, which we just increased the range by 30%, but it shoots out a icicle, essentially, that will deal damage and slow the target. That's Jaina's trait, so getting hit by any of her abilities will slow the target for 25%, and amplifies the damage from her subsequent abilities by 50% for 4 seconds. Also, Jaina used to have Ice Block in her kit, no longer does, but it is a quest that can be earned. We went ahead and tagged that Zul'jin. Come in close. Get in as much damage as we can there. So our W ability is Blizzard, so in the area of that circle there, that will deal 3 basically drops of I guess a blizzard, right? Let's grab these regen globes. One thing Jaina lacks kind of early is a little bit of mana. So we're gonna come up here with Zag. I don't like laning against Zag on any character, really, honestly, but we're gonna come up here, deal a little bit of damage to Zag there. Try to get her out of there as much as we can. Go ahead and Sippy. We're going to Sippy anyway for the mana, so I'm not really worried about it needing the health there. Let Zag pop her stuff. We just want the regen globe. We're going to pop back. So our W ability, as said, is Blizzard, as you can see here. Drops down 3 things of cold, dealing, once again, those slows, and that's where a lot of our area denial comes up. Our E ability is Cone of Cold, so as you see in the little cone shape there, does some damage. Ooh, you're lucky, Zag. Dealing damage there. Just another way for us to kind of do more area of effect damage. Looks like we don't have anybody mid or bot, so they're just gonna let Zul kind of do Zul things down there. Go ahead and pop this out. So as I was saying about the ice block for Jaina, so Jaina has a quest built in where if you do 15,000, oh, that was bad. That was really bad. If you do 15,000 damage to frosted targets, so after hitting them once with one of our abilities, we do an additional 15,000 damage to those targets. We will oh, Zag's nearby. You can tell because the minions got big. Go ahead and take out all those minions. Grab that regen globe.
A retreat is in order.
So if you do 15,000 damage with your 2 frosted targets, you actually gain Ice Block, the skill. And so until then, Jaina doesn't have very much in the way of like defensive capabilities. However, once we get that, and we're a little bit better, we did take a talent at level 4 here. This is primarily based on the team that we're going against. So at level 4 we took frost armor. So whenever we get hit by a target with physical attack damage, it's going to slow them and give us more damage, or give us armor to be able to take more damage. All right. So we're going to come back here, kind of chill here for a second. There's a lot of minions. And this is something you got to really be careful about, specifically on mage characters, is when you have a ton of minions like this. We're going to die. Zag is pushing with all these minions while we are trying to kill a Stitches. Maybe Stitches isn't the best one for us to be targeting. Oh, we'll try to get back up here. But Zag's going to be able to push this lane really hard. Going against a Zagara and Azul is going to be a lot more push than what we got.
I hate resorting to violence.
They're gonna finish out. They're gonna finish out this objective, and we're just gonna kind of play it safe a little bit. So we got the armor chill. So primarily for the Zool, get rid of all those minions. Throw our ability in there. Try to get in as much damage as we can because we want to get as much of that damage to frosted targets as we can, so we can try to earn our ice block as early as we can. We got to back off because there's nothing we can really do against Arcane Punches. Once he jumps on us, we would be pretty much dead.
I'll take care of it.
At level 7, we are going to take Ice Lance, which is going to reduce our cooldown on our Frost Nova on frosted targets. So basically, subsequently hitting with Frost Nova is going to help us out. We're just kind of throwing in our frost bolts here as much as we can.
Our enemy's Punisher has fallen. Now nothing will save them.
If you're sure.
We get a little bit more defensive here. I believe it's at level 13.
I hate resorting to violence.
All right, we need to immediately break off of this. Their ability to split push right now is going to be very annoying, going to give them a very big XP lead, and XP wins games. We're going to die from Water Dreamer. I knew we were going to get rolled on, but I didn't realize that they already had 10s from their ability to push other lanes while we have to focus on kind of everything else. And we'll be in a much better place once we get to level 10, as we will be able to contest a little bit, because we win this game if we kill them. They win this game if they just delay, because they're going to be able to outpush us.
My hand.
And so one thing that Jaina is pretty good at is camps. She has the ability to do a decent amount of damage to the entire camp, which helps take them out a little bit quicker.
Let's see how you like this. Sounds good.
We're gonna die here probably.
Keep it up.
Doing as much damage as we can, but they're just having 10s and rolling as a 5-man for once right there. It was really just kind of out pushing us. Actually, I think there were 4 Zags probably on their Bruiser, if I had to guess. She's not showing on the map right now, so she's probably camping somewhere.
Let's try that again.
There we go. Need that kill. Once we get 10s, now we can kind of contest a little bit. So we're going to take Ring of Frost, which is going to allow us to do after a short time, big old ring of frost. I didn't say. Freezing targets in this spot. Oh, man. Ooh, that Stitches with that helping hand hook just saved that Zul'jin. So enemies caught in that ring of frost will be frozen in place, rooted, and once again they'll be able to take more damage. So it allows us to be extremely bursty with our damage.
Let's see how you like this.
It cleanses.
Time is of the essence.
You know what to do. Slay the guardians. Unleash the Punisher. Go!
Go ahead and get in some damage on that stitches.
A well-timed heal, friend.
So see, now's the time you'd want to hit this stitches, but whatever.
Consider your flame extinguished.
We'll just back off from that Zool ult. Nice follow up on that from that Nova. Zag's getting a free keep up top.
Gotta pull back for now.
We're out of mana. That's the one thing you gotta watch out with Jaina, as mana struggles can be real. We're gonna go ahead and take out this minion wave, so we can grab that regen globe. Hopefully, get closer to getting 13s here.
Here we go. Time is of the essence.
Gonna back up because Stitches is popping his ult. Go ahead and give him some more poke damage, though. We are Ohm.
Let's get going. The light shall protect you,
Time
champion.
for a short reprieve.
Oh man, we need mana in a major way here. Let's see if we can sneak this regen globe maybe, and this one. That'll help. We're getting the kills, but it might be too little, too late against this push comp.
A well-timed heal, friend.
Gotta slow in on that Zul'jin. Come back here. This is gone. Okay, so at 13, we get one of our most defensive abilities. So we're taking Ice Barrier. So damage against frosted targets gain a shield. So that works on both heroes and on minions. Oh. And so as you can see, we got a little bit of a shield there, so dealing damage to subsequent targets, or to the same targets multiple times is going to give us a shields that'll keep us alive. Zag's gonna get a free fort in the mid because we are having to defend on everything else. Very frustrating to go against two specialists when you have none. We have good wave clear, but it costs so much of our mana and everything to do it.
I've got a good feeling about this.
Let's see, let's come mid, see if we can make something happen here.
The light shall protect you,
Maybe, come on, chase in.
now you're mine. All right with me.
Did some damage there, but as you can see, we got a substantial shield here. Uh-oh, that's not good. Cleanse isn't gonna save us. I just did a Cone of Cold just to do any type of damage, but Zag being able to put down all of these different minions is going to make it so the fort isn't going to hit any of the targets along with Zul's minions. So our forts and keeps don't really provide us any defensive abilities right now because they always are going to have minions that are going to be able to absorb those shots. And Zul'jin has more than enough damage to take care of any of us. So while they are fighting here in the mid, Zag's gonna go ahead and try to take this bottom keep by herself, which she will be able to do. We will probably lose both keeps here. All right, we now have our ice block. 13 minutes in. I mean, we're doing okay in that regard, but without this extra push, we are hurting. and all the minions in the way are eating up all of our frost bolts, so we're not able to get in that extra poke damage.
Let's see how you like this.
I must retreat, friend.
Kael'thas is bot, so we can't really do too much without him. All we can do is just try to get rid of these minions, because that's how they're beating us right now, is because they have the ability to push where we don't. We're waiting for an opportunity to drop our Frost Nova, hopefully catch several of them, and then kind of combo off of that.
You will take it from me.
Choose a talent.
All right, level 16. We are going to take. Let's see. We're going to take Cone of Cold lowers armor. So when we do hit people, we can go ahead and deal more damage to them. It lowers our armor by 25% from our Cone of Cold ability. So in a perfect world, you land Cone of Cold, then you hit them with everything else that you got, and almost any target at that point is pretty much done.
We are unbreakable.
Ill-advised Pyroblast from Kael'thas. If you are going to play Kael'thas and use Pyroblast, best to not use it on a target that has full health. Usually better reserved for somebody who's been hit. Trying to zone them out as much as we can. Backing off from this Zool. Don't want to get hit by his nonsense. Slow down that Zool. Take him out. Go ahead and get another slow on that Lily. Toss down some of that there. Come up here. Hope our white mane hits us with the heal at some point. Now we're going to get shields off of our ability to constantly hit our frozen targets, so that using that ice block as soon as that Stitches pulled us in, stopped the damage that he was going to do to us. We actually have to go back to core now, because Zag has been able to push all of that onto our core. Well, we kind of had a conundrum here. They were able to still get the objective. And Zag was able to push. And Kael'thas is dead. We're going to come back here to our base, but that's probably going to be GG. We won't be able to stop the Zag push on bot, along with the Punisher here. Oh. We're backing off, trying to stay alive. There's no way we can push off all of these minions and everything. Our cooldowns are just a little too long for this. We're gonna come in here and win. Go ahead and ice block. Pop the ice block and run. Oh, it's not gonna be enough. Oh, we live. Well, wasn't too much that we could do there. We just didn't have the ability to combat that push from that Zag Zool combo. Hopefully you got to see on a couple occasions there the kind of burst that we are capable of doing with Jaina. She still is a powerful hero, especially in the right comps that can kind of work with her. And as far as talents go, level 1 we took Winter's Reach, which increased the range of our Frostbolt by 30%, which allowed us to stay at beyond range of that Zool's basic attack. Was the main reason, or Zool Jin, sorry, outside of the range of that Zool Jin's basic attack, which is the main reason that we took that, because we wanted to play as safe as we possibly could. So for instance, that was the big difference between us and our Kael'thas. So our Kael'thas had to get within range of that Zool Jin, and you know he died 9 times, and that's the biggest thing. To be able to use his abilities properly, he had to get in within range, so we took the range of Frostbolt. However, it isn't always the talent that I like to take, but in this situation against this comp, it was the one that I wanted to in this case. Level 4, we took Frost Armor, and this was so that when anybody hit us with a basic attack, it would go ahead and give us 50 physical armor. But then also the main reason was that it would chill them. So in the event that that Stitches hit us or that Zul'jin hit us, it would chill them, which give us an opportunity to get away. At level 7, we took Ice Lance, and this was so that when we hit a target that was already chilled with our Frostbolt, it reduced the cooldown by 2 seconds and gave us back some mana. As one thing that you may have noticed during that match is that Jaina, unless you take specific talents, is a very mana hungry character. At level 10, we took Ring of Frost, hopefully hoping to combat their push by getting just raw damage and kills, which we were able to get a couple of decent hits off of it. But you know, honestly, we didn't get the Dream Ring of Frost where you get like 3 of them in it, and then you hit them with your Blizzard, and the next thing you know, you've just wiped out. You've just done a team wipe by yourself, which is 100% possible with Jaina. However, with Lily being able to use her cleanse ability versus us, that was very powerful. Plus, Stitches taking spell armor at level 1 really reduced the amount of damage that he took from that as well. Level 13, one of our most defensive abilities that we have, we took Ice Barrier, so we gain a shield of 25% of ability damage dealt to chilled targets. Shield lasts for 4 seconds. As you saw when that Stitches hooked us at the objective, we ice blocked, and the ice block was more for me to kind of gather my thoughts of how I wanted to proceed right then. It was almost like a desperation ice block. I mean, you know, if I was really on top of my game, I would have ice blocked before the hook hit me, and then I would have been good. But since I got hooked, what I could do is use a Blizzard on myself, which would make that the Stitches kind of have to back off. But because I immediately popped the ice block early, which is also something that you should look at doing as well. It's easy to time when an ice block is going to end or whatever from an opponent, so you can always, you know, time your abilities to hit right then. So what we did is we popped our ice block early, so they didn't know we were going to pop it right then, give us that split second of surprise, hit with the Blizzard, a Cone of Cold, and then a Frostbolt. And what those did, because of our level 13 talent, we were able to get that shield back, which kept us alive long enough to get out of there. So at level 16, we took enemies damaged by Northern Exposure, which was enemies damaged by Cone of Cold had their armor lowered by 25 for 2 seconds. Once again, this was just in an effort for us to try to deal some damage and do some kills. Had we hit level 20, I probably would have taken Ice Blink, which allows us to teleport a short distance, and it chills any enemies that we are nearby. It's usually more of a get out of jail kind of card. You can use it as an engage. It's very similar to the old Bolt of the Storm talent, where you teleport in. Same kind of idea, except for this does a chill. Also, Deep Chill is a really good talent, getting that additional stacking. But as far as an alternative build, one that I like to go on a lot of times, depending on kind of what I'm going against. So if you're having mana issues with Jaina, which you probably are, Fingers of Frost is a really good talent. What this does is it's based off of getting regen globes, but what it does is it increases her mana regeneration, which would total give her up to another 2 mana back per second, which is really big for Jaina. So that's a solid talent. I take that in almost every time. The only reason I took the Frostbolt range was once again to outrange that Zul'jin. At level 4. A lot of times you can take also Arcane Intellect. What this does is this gives you back mana based on using damage on chilled targets. So pretty solid ability right there to once again stay in it. At level 7, another one you can take, I'll take Ice Flows sometimes, which it just increases your cone of cold width, and it just makes the cone just crazy big. It makes it a lot easier to hit targets with. It reduces the cooldown by 2.5 seconds for every hero hit with it. Every chilled hero, sorry. Level 10, summon a water elemental, also a solid ultimate. If you're dealing with if you're going against something like a Chromie or something that's going to be, honestly, probably out of range for your Ring of Frost, it'll put you in a little bit too much danger to get in. To get in really close to try to deal damage to specifically her, or you're trying to zone out that Chromie. A lot of times what you can do is you can take some water elemental and then you throw that at her, and it summons a water elemental that you can manually micro using the R key. You can then press it on like the Chromie and it'll stick to that Chromie, and usually it will deal enough damage to make them back off. If it doesn't, it will slow the target. And would giving you the opportunity to kind of get in and deal some damage. It's also really good for people who are running away, as it will stick to them and will go ahead and give them slow them so that you can catch up and finish them off potentially. Level 13, Stormfront is a really good talent as well. This increases the cast range of Blizzard, just allowing you to be a little bit safer. It's really that kind of thing, and it pairs really well with Snowstorm at level 16, which increases the radius of Blizzard by 30%, so you can cast your Blizzard from further away and you have more of an area to do it. I personally find so much value though in Ice Barrier at 13 that I take that probably 99% of the time. So at level 16, Snowstorm is usually the other one that I'll take other than besides Cone of Cold. And this is if I am in a situation where I don't want to be as close. In this match, honestly, being close really wasn't... It was an issue when it came to like the Zul Jin and everything, but for everybody else, it really wasn't that big of an issue. So by this point, we were behind and I just wanted to get out raw damage output, which Northern Exposure does that by giving that Cone of Cold, increasing our burst even further. And then at level 20, really just kind of, I mean, they all have their place. Ice Blink is the one I tend to use the most there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. That was Jaina. Unfortunately, we weren't able to kind of showcase everything that she's capable of doing. Kind of based on the comp that we were going against, kind of steamrolled us as far as XP goes with that push comp. But other than that, we'll see you guys all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more gaming content. It really helps me out and doesn't cost me anything. Thank you again. Have a great day.